Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Tickets Towards Success podcast. I'm your host, Tucker Nanakov, and want to thank you for joining me today here on the Tickets Towards Success podcast. We talk about health, fitness, finance, and the personal mindset needed to thrive in all areas of life. And I want to thank you again for tuning into this episode today. Today, we're actually tackling a topic that is going to hit home for a lot of people, and that is my hope. And that is, what does it mean to live a successful life on your own terms? In my opinion, for most of us, the version of success that we have been handed isn't actually our own version. It was shaped by culture, family, expectations, social media, and it can leave us stuck chasing someone else's dream. This can lead to burnout, confusion, or feeling like you're living a life that is full of fake purpose. Throughout this episode, we're going to talk about why the traditional idea of success is broken for so many people. We're going to talk about how to identify what matters most to you in your life, what redefining success actually looks like in your everyday life, the fears that come with walking your own path, how I have been personally able to integrate this into my own life, and most importantly, how to build a life that aligns with your values, not someone else's checklist. If this message does resonate with you today at any point, it would mean a lot if you did share this with someone who needs to possibly hear it. And don't forget to subscribe or just download my podcast so you never miss an episode. All right, let's get into it. And starting off, we're going to talk about the default definition of success. So let's just start with what we've been taught. Success has basically been sold to us as a linear formula. Go to school, get a degree, land a good job, get a steady job, climb the ladder, buy the house, get married, have kids, retire when you're 65. That's it. That's the blueprint for success that is handed to us as soon as we are born. And while I do think that some of these are necessary at certain points of life, and I do think that some of them are important, it doesn't mean that you have to follow the script step by step. But if you look closely, that model leaves out a very critical piece as well. What do you actually want out of life? This is a question that I personally find myself asking myself a lot. Because it's so important, because if you follow the blueprint that is handed to us, if you follow that script, you're basically doing what you're told to do. You're not actually doing what you actually want to do in life. You're not chasing your passions, your goals, your purpose. You're just doing what you're being told to do. And so many people are quietly miserable doing everything the right way. They followed the formula and they still feel unfulfilled, which is so scary. They're stressed, they're anxious, they're exhausted because they never stop to question, what do I value? What brings me joy? What does success look like to me? They get put in these positions and they just get stuck there. The bills pile up, everything gets more expensive, so you feel like you need to stay there. You feel like you have to stay there. And they end up in this dead-end job for the rest of their lives. And they waste so much time and energy to a place that doesn't give them the same thing back. And let me be clear, if the traditional path does align with your values, that's great. I really don't have anything against it. I just think that there is more to life than this blueprint that we are handed to us. But if it follows your values, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when we don't even realize that we have a choice before it's too late. We have to get to that choice before it is too late. And the best thing to do to figure out that choice is getting clear on what you really want in life. Redefining success starts with self-awareness. Self-awareness is so crucial in life. We need to learn to ask ourselves, when in my life did I feel most proud or fulfilled? What activities make me lose track of time? Who do I admire and why do I admire them? Why do I admire who they are, what life they have? If money weren't an issue, what would I spend my time doing? For example, for me, it would be anything that comes to fitness. I love running. I love also creating content and meeting and learning from new people. I love building relationships with people that have a different perspective of life, that have been through different struggles, through different successes, and really figuring out how they were able to overcome that or achieve those things. But anything with fitness, I love running. A lot of people know that probably listen to this. Creating content is becoming super, super valuable to me and super important. It's tough, but it's something that I enjoy doing, and spreading a message that I think is healthy and positive for people to view and hopefully improve their lives and get some personal growth going on in their lives as well. And then we can also ask ourselves, what are my top 5 values? What are my core values? But answering those questions can help you build your own internal compass, something that you can reference when life gets noisy and confusing. You need to have that internal compass, or it's going to be very easy to get off track, to lose sight of your goals, to lose sight of your vision, to lose sight of your purpose. For example, if your top values are freedom, creativity, and service to others, then a rigid, stressful 9 to 5 with no creativity outlet probably won't be that fulfilling for you. You'll probably be just at another dead end place. You're going to constantly feel like something is off, like something is missing. For a personal example of mine, I actually work in the sales industry, which can sometimes get a lot of hate. But it all depends on what industry you are in sales. So I used to work in an industry that was similar to the used car salesman mentality position. I believe that sales is about relationships, and that's the passion that I have in sales. And I really wanted to find an industry that was geared more towards that relationship building concept. And I eventually found hospitality sales, and I am now a sales manager at a hotel in my area. And I build relationships with corporate clients every single day, help them plan their conferences, their exec meetings, their programs that they may be having throughout the year, and work with them to help them put on a really good event, a really good meeting, a really good conference, because those things are very important to them and it's very important to their business. So having a good relationship, they want to be able to trust the people that they're working with, because these programs, these conferences are so important to them. And that is where I really found that relationship building piece. And I love what I do now. It's difficult at times, and every job has its days, but I do enjoy it. And I think I'm in a better position than I was in my last job. And even though this is not my dream life, and it still is a corporate 9 to 5, it is structured more off my values and what I want in a career. My dream life is revolved around content, around fitness, and being able to work with really cool companies and being able to work with really cool people and meet really cool people. But I'm not there yet. I'm striving to get there every single day. But right now, I have to do what I have to do to provide, to live, to run this podcast. And I was able to go out and find a corporate 9 to 5 that is more centered around my values, which is something that you want to try to do. That way you feel more fulfilled than you will at a job that doesn't meet those values. And this is going to be that's going to be hard for some people, because some people are in a job that they've been in forever, and they've been with a company forever. They have relationships with people. They've made friends there. And even though they don't feel fulfilled, even though they don't have a passion for that specific position, they are very scared to leave, because there's a fear of disappointing others. And I think that one of the biggest obstacles in life, and one of the biggest obstacles to redefining success, is fear. Everybody gets scared when they're out of their comfort zone. Everybody gets scared, especially they get scared of what other people will think of them when they step out of that comfort zone, when they start posting content, when they switch careers completely and just leave, or when they say that they want to do something, but it's so mind-boggling to the people around them that they get scared, or people start to tell them why they can't do that. And a few things that some of us will worry about is disappointing our parents, or letting people down around us, confusing our friends, maybe not seeing our friends as much, and them being confused about why you're not hanging out as much anymore. Being judged online, that's a big one if you're looking to get into content, or just feeling like you're falling behind. I feel like I'm falling behind every single day. But in reality, I'm right where I need to be, and you just have to trust that. And there's a mindset shift. There's always a mindset shift in every single Tickets Towards Success podcast, I swear. But it really changed a lot for me. And it's, you are responsible for living a life that is for you, not for everyone else. You're the only one that dictates your life. You're the only one that knows what you want out of life. And to be honest, everyone is just projecting their own fears and limitations onto others. Your job is not to please those people. Your job is to live in alignment with who you truly are in your heart and in the core of your body. That is who you're supposed to be, and only you know that. And yeah, it takes courage. People, there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand, but that is okay. They don't have to understand. They just have to accept it. And it's far better to be misunderstood for living authentically than praised for wearing a mask. You don't want to be someone that is being praised, being told that they're doing a good job, but deep down they have this feeling of they're just not living up to their potential, or you're not living up to your potential. It's better to be misunderstood and living a life full of fulfillment. And when we're building our own version of success, this is really where we need to start. Number one, stop caring what others think. No one knows the life that you want besides you. Most people don't care, and it seems like they do. Or if it seems like they do, they are looking for a way to escape their own problems. If someone really cares that much and is bashing on you that much for chasing your dreams, or chasing your purpose, or chasing a life full of fulfillment, then don't even worry about it, because they got their own problems that are 10 times as worse. Life is short, so focus on your life and your goals and go out there and achieve them. Audit your life. What part of your life is energy draining? What parts are energy draining? What parts make you feel aligned? You can also create a personal identity audit. I'm not going to go through this, but if you read the book, Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, he talks about this and he gives you 20 prompted questions that at the end of the book, you fill them out. So what I did is I actually put them into a note app that I have called Notion. Put that in. I did the audit myself and basically audited my entire life and who I am and who I want to be and how I think the world perceives me. And it really gives you a good idea of your strengths, your weaknesses, where you should look to improve, and where maybe you're really strong at already. But that's a great way to audit your life and kind of see, what is draining your energy, what really motivates you and makes you disciplined. So great book, Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. I would definitely highly recommend that and doing that personal identity audit. I think that we should all write a personal success statement. What does success look like for you? Is that financial freedom? Is that personal freedom? Is it being your own boss, being healthy, having a family? And you can start it with this. Success to me means living a life where I feel, enter an emotion while doing some type of work and prioritizing core values. For example, let me give you an example of what mine would be for that sentence structure. Success to me, it means living a life where I feel fulfilled while creating content that helps others and having conversations with people to gain different perspectives of life, all while prioritizing hard work, faith, and loyalty. That is what my sentence structure is. That's what I came up with. So having that personal success statement, really defining success on your own terms. You can't, get away from the norm of life if you don't even understand what you believe success to be. How are you supposed to chase something that you don't even know where to start? We should also all be setting identity-based goals, right? So not, I want to earn $100,000. Instead, I want to become the kind of person who creates value and solves meaningful problems. If you're looking at it mostly from just a financial standpoint, you're not really going to get very far because you're never going to just always have that passion and that fuel to earn $100,000. But if you can create someone that looks to constantly provide value and solve problems in the world, everything will fall into a line in their own way. I feel like we tend to prioritize the desired outcome instead of finding purpose in the hard work. And everyone struggles with this. I know that I definitely do. Fitness is big for this one because, when beginners or even people that have been in fitness, they say, I'm gonna look this way. I'm gonna run this time in this race. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. We prioritize that outcome, and we think that it's gonna be super easy to achieve that. And that is why we have to find the purpose in the hard work. The hard work, everything in between. Okay, so say you're training for a race, right? So you're training for half marathon. Everything in between from the day that you say you're going to run that to the race, everything in between, the hard work is where you grow. It's when you find out who you really are, your weaknesses, your strengths. It's the work. It's the grind time. It's everything that it needs to be. That is where the real purpose is. The race and the outcome of that race is just a bonus. But we really grow in between that timeline. We should all strive to simplify our lives. Stop trying to do everything. Focus on what moves the needle in your life. Focus on putting one step in front of the other. Cut out all the extra stuff. Eliminate distractions. You can eliminate distractions by surrounding yourself with people that are aligned in the same way that you are in terms of values, goals. You can join communities or you can listen to content that reflects your values. It will reinforce your new direction in life and help you redefine success and find it. You can do this through podcasts, books, fitness communities, etc. You have to find like-minded people in order to become one of those people. If you have a goal to be big into business, say you want to get into online business, you need to find a community of people that are already in that are ahead of you. So you can learn from them, so you can learn how the game works. It's important that we all check in monthly, weekly, and daily with ourselves. You can set a reminder once a month to kind of reflect, or once a week, or daily. You can write in a journal. I've talked about this in the past. I have a journal that I try to make an entry every single night, just about that day and how I felt and what I did, what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I think I need to do to improve. Am I moving toward or away from my version of success? But don't stress yourself out with this. We don't want to stress ourselves with I have to do this. I have to reflect on this. I have to reflect on this. It can be simple as 10 seconds just to reflect in your mind. Is this pushing me towards my version of success? Is this pushing me towards my goals? We should make sure that we are taking a step back every once in a while, just to have that mental check-in. I want us all to start giving ourselves permission. We always seek permission from everybody else. We never tend to give ourselves permission. We are the only one that really controls our life. When you get to an age, you're the only one that controls your life. And sometimes the only thing that's holding us back is that we're waiting for someone else to give us the permission to make the decision for us. Permission to leave a job, permission to pursue a dream, permission to start over, permission to focus on ourselves. So this podcast episode right here today, it is your sign. You don't need anyone's permission but your own. Fuck what everyone else thinks. Fuck whatever everyone else says. It doesn't matter. It's life simple. You make choices and you don't look back. So if you have a gut feeling, make that choice and don't look back, and work as hard as you possibly can to make everything happen the way you want it to. And if it doesn't work out, there's always something else, as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other. So let go of the need for constant validation. Let go of the idea that your life has to look like someone else's highlight reel. You are the author. You get to change the plot. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. You don't need a big moment or a dramatic shift. Just start where you are, one value aligned decision at a time. That is how we redefine success. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about checking the boxes that society laid out. It's about building a life that feels right when no one's watching. Most of us aren't waiting for the perfect plan. We're waiting for permission or some kind of validation that may never come. But the truth is, we already have everything we need to begin. It starts with a decision to take ownership, to trust ourselves, to move in the direction that truly matters to us. Because when success is defined on our own terms, life starts to feel a whole lot more like our own. That is all that I have for you today. The past couple episodes have been a little bit shorter. I'm trying to get ahead on all my episodes and provide the most value possible. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Keep collecting tickets, and I will see everyone in the next episode.